Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2020, the album Dad AF. Rock on, Gold Dust Woman. I was just sitting in my car before I made this video, flying around my face, and I was thinking to myself, no, honestly I was, I wonder how many times in the course of having this channel I have sang Gold Dust Woman by Stevie Nicks. People used to think I said Rock on Gorgeous Woman, and then people wondered why I changed it to Gold Dust Woman. It's always been Gold Dust Woman. I love that song so much by Stevie Nicks. I'm losing my lip gloss. I am one of the world's biggest Stevie Nicks fans in the entire world. I love her so much. Anyway, shawls, tambourines. Let's get into today's video. Today's video is sponsored by Manscaped. Thank you so much, Manscaped. They have been so good to me for reaching out to do another sponsorship. Now, if you guys watch my channel, you know that I only do sponsorships with products that I truly, truly believe in. Oh, it's going off. Simply the best. Everything I want, all the rest. I don't know the words, but anyway, I can do a mad Tina Turner. Anyway, rolling with my Manscaped. Anyway, so I only do sponsorships with products that I really, really believe in, okay? So for a long time, I think it's this one. It's this one. I use the Manscaped 2.0, and now I use the Manscaped 3.0, the lawnmower, which my husband does as well. Now, let me just tell you, okay? I use this for around my beard, and the nether regions and everywhere. Women have asked me if they can use this too. I've had women reach out to me and say they own the Manscaped, and yes, they can use it too. One of the delights about the Manscaped, okay, razor, is that it doesn't cut you down there. So, you know, none of us want to be, being hurt in places that hurt easily. So, you know what? Hurt people, and Manscaped doesn't hurt anyone. So, this is such a fantastic thing. I love Manscaped so much that I constantly am using it, and I really, really believe in their razors and their other products as well. They have like a crop duster for to smell good down there and all that kind of stuff. And so, I know a lot of us are stuck at home. I know a lot of people aren't getting to do college graduations and all this kind of stuff. This would make a great gift, okay? If you aren't being able to go and get a haircut, you can trim up the neck with this. This is a great razor. It's really small. You charge it with a USB, so it's super, super easy. Actually, in this one, the Lawnmower 3.0, there is a little stand that you can use. Now, I don't use the stand, but you can. It's a charging stand that you put, and see, it just sits right like this. Hold on a second. In your bathroom, and so it sits just like that. You can have it in your bathroom like your electric toothbrush or whatever. So anyway, go check it out. Monn20, you get a 20% discount off of Manscaped, and why wouldn't you want to try it? I've had so many people reach out to me and say that they bought this because I talked about it. I swear by this, because it is simply the best. Anyway, yes, I did just watch that episode of Schitt's Creek. Okay, let's get into this video. Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring another video with me. I love you guys so much. All right, let's get into this video. Let me put my Manscaped things over here. Oh, it's still going off. Because it's simply the best. All the information will be in the description box below if you want to go check out Manscaped. I gotta put on my lip gloss. Hold on a second. My lip gloss be poppin'. Put on my lip gloss to get started for this video. We're going to talk about Nikkietutorials and James Charles today. And then put on my, not my setting spray, but my hand sanitizer from Mrs. Meyer's. You can never be too safe, So you want to use, oh, it smells like so nice, lavender. All right. Woo! I use my Carol Baskin fan here. And I'm all set. Okay, let's talk about Nikkietutorials first of all. Nikkietutorials is in a bit of drama again. Well, not really. It's kind of her self-exposed drama, so to speak. Get my glass of water here. Now, it's just like we're sitting up in my kitchen, okay? Martika's Kitchen, if you know that song from back in the day, or someone's in the kitchen with Dinah, or whoever, okay? We're sitting up in my kitchen, we're just sitting around talking. You can get your KJ, get your White Claw, get your, juice box, your cup of coffee, your water. You can do whatever. And we're gonna sit here and just have a conversation. Don't you hate that when you make a sound that sounds like a fart and then you try to recreate it? And well, I swear that was my foot on the couch. It wasn't me fart. I swear. Oh my God. By the way, if you watch my vlogs or some of my other videos, I have talked nonstop about how I have been obsessed. This is not about the farting. I have been obsessed with onion dip, okay? Lay's, specifically onion dip, and sour cream and cheddar chips. It's like my go-to during being at home during all this. So on my review channel today, I am cooking up a little homemade onion dip. I am so excited. Okay, so go check out my review channel. You'll see that over there today. So, I was scrolling through Twitter today, as one does when you are a drama channel of the world, and I saw that someone said, Nikkietutorials always addresses drama in such a classy way. And I was like, how did she, what drama? Who? I didn't hear about Nikkietutorials being any drama. Ooh, that sun's kind of burning my face now. Lavender hand spray, but I am safe. So anyway, it's kind of giving me a tan. I kind of like it. So anyway, so I went over to see what was going on with Nikkietutorials on her Twitter. Nothing. There's just thank you, all this. She's so kind. She said, I like Nikkie. Jeffree Star, Jaclyn Hill, Manny MUA. Where's my lip gloss? I don't feel so safe all of a sudden talking about beauty gurus. I need some more hand sanitizer. All right, but anyway, you can get yourself in a little bit of trouble talking about those beauty gurus. So I went over to her Twitter and there was nothing going on except for that she tweeted out that she had done this Q&A. And I was like, what did she say in her Q&A? So I went over and I watched this Q&A and it was one of my favorite videos that Nikkie has ever done. I have to tell you, since Nikkie has come out, and she just seems so confident these days, and just kind of like, you know, like, if you have a problem with me, sit your ass down. She says actually at the end of the video something to the effect of, there's 2 times. She says, if you have a problem with me, well, I'm putting on mascara. And then the other time she says, if you have a problem with me, get in line. And I love it. She's just so confident these days. And I think that, you know, she has stepped into this role of being a role model, and I think that, you know, she's not being nasty or rude or whatever, she's being confident. And there's such a fine line between confidence and cockiness, and I think we really see it online, you know? And I think, for example, she displays confidence, Jake Paul displays cockiness, and I think there's a total difference, right? And when you want to be a role model or you want people to look up to you, right, I think to kind of display that kind of confidence is amazing. So I love it, right? So she goes in, and let me just tell you what she talks about in this video. She talks about it all. So she does this real cute Q&A. Go watch it. I'm not going to spoil it for you, okay? My neighbor just walked outside. She's watering her tomato plants. Hey! So anyway, go over there and watch the video, okay? She does this Q&A where if she answers the question that she got tweeted, then or it was in the comment section or something, she will if she answers it, she will use a product that she loves. If she doesn't answer it and won't answer it, she uses a product that she doesn't like. So it's real funny too. It's cute the way that she does it. But she actually answers a lot in there. And one of the most poignant moments is she gets asked about her wanting to have kids or not. And in the past, she's always said that she didn't want to have kids. And she goes in there and talks about Dylan and her wishing to have kids at some point, or at least it being kind of something that they've been discussing. And it's just a really moving moment. It's very sweet. And she's very honest in how she addresses it. She goes in there and people ask her about, you know, gender reassignment surgery. They ask her about her relationship with her father. They ask her all kinds of stuff, and they ask her about her having any issues with other YouTubers. They ask her about the money that she got screwed out of that Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star talked about, and she literally puts it all out there. And it's interesting because, you know, when you do a Q&A, you have the choice to sit there, and she says she did pick like the top 15 questions that she gets asked a lot or something like that. You have the choice to sit there and pick, like, out of hundreds of questions, right? The ones that make you most comfortable. I always, when I do a Q&A, I just, like, read right through it. I'm like, oh, my Lord, and I'm halfway reading through the question. I'm like, oh, and y'all know I don't edit, so then I have to answer the question. But she does it, and I'm, like, real impressed with the way that she handled the whole situation, you know? And even this, when asked about her gender reassignment surgery, she says, you know, there are some things I'm just not comfortable talking about yet on camera. There will come a time and a place for that, but right now is not for me. I'm still getting used to all of this. And what I really loved about that she said without having to say it, is that our journeys, our stories, our whatever, you know, if you're a part of the LGBTQ plus community, our coming out stories are ours, okay? Not somebody else's to demand when we tell. They're ours. And the fact that she says that and takes control back over her own story and says, I'll share it, but I'll share it when I want to. They also go in there and ask her about her wedding and picking out a wedding dress, and she said she wanted to do this whole series about that and that she will show that later in the year. Go check it out. It's a fantastic video from Nikkie. I loved it. And she does spill a little tea in there, so go check it out. Okay, let's talk about Jaclyn Hill. No, not today, maybe tomorrow. Manny MUA and Gabriel Zamora doing a live stream together. I might have all of the footage. No, we're not going to talk about that, but they did talk about some spicy, spicy stuff over there. I was actually cracking up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They were doing this live stream. Gabriel Zamora was cooking, and Manny was sitting there, and he was like just laughing and talking, and it was literally like they were on a phone call or a FaceTime or a Zoom or whatever, you know. But they could kind of forgotten that anybody was watching them. It was literal gold, okay? So anyway, but we're not going to talk about all that today. Today we're going to talk about James Charles and the instant influencer drama. So, well, it's not really drama, but people have been asking me to do my reaction to instant influencer. So I finally watched it today. Kind of surprised I hadn't watched it before, except for that, like I said, I'm trying to binge watch Schitt's Creek, okay, and read books left and right. So I finally got to it today. I really was excited about this show. And when I watched it, I have to say, it was so much more than I expected it to be. Now, I knew that it would be done really well. I knew that James, he's a perfectionist. He's not going to put something out there that's subpar. And, well, I mean, again, no, I'm joking. But anyway, he wasn't going to put out something that was subpar. You know, he was going to put out something that people were going to be really impressed with. And I was really excited for the people that were in the show, the contestants, you know, if you want to call it that. When it started, so I'm going to tell you my critiques of the show at the end. I'll tell you what my criticisms of the show. But when it starts off, he does this like mini challenge thing at the beginning, and I was like, okay, so he's very much doing this like RuPaul's Drag Race formula, where you have a mini challenge and then like a maxi challenge, and then at the very end, they all stand there, and then they critique them, and then they go behind, and they talk about him, and then they bring them back out, and they tell which ones are going to stay and which ones go. It's the RuPaul's Drag Race reality show challenge formula, okay? And that's okay. I don't dislike it. There's a lot of reality shows that are actually doing that almost exact formula right now, so I don't have a problem with that. But, you know, after years and years and years of watching, you know, these kind of like, you know, the Cake one and Project, I've like watched every season of Project Runway, you know, all the America's Next Top Model. There's all different ways that you could kind of trick this up. So I was kind of hoping that James would kind of put a spin on that. That was the only thing, except for that when I was watching it, I thought to myself, for the younger generation, who are going to be the majority of the people that are going to be watching the show, they already know RuPaul's Drag Race. And so when they're watching this, it's very comfortable for them to watch because they already know what to expect. And so they get kind of excited, right? So I think it's smart that he did it. I think it's very, very smart that he followed that formula. So he goes in, and I think there were 6 contestants, and he goes in and they introduce themselves at the beginning, and they all have very, very endearing stories. I will say that. I don't think it was necessarily their makeup skills that got them on the show. I think it was their background stories, which I love that when people do that anyway. Very, very, like, they're just like really neat people that are on this show. And all of their makeup skills are completely all over the place and different, you know? So they go in, they do this, like, they have to show up with like a look that like represents them or something. And it was really interesting what they chose. I will tell you that this is one of my criticisms. Well, not really a criticism, but one of the things I found interesting was as James was going and he was giving like each person like a critique, I thought, James, have you ever thought about taking some of this own criticism to yourself? You know, because like he was talking about like going in deeper with a background story and telling more about yourself with your look and things like that. And I'm thinking like, these are not things that James ever does, right? So he can see it in other people. I think that would be some really great, you know, feedback for himself as well, because we can all grow. We can all continue to grow. When you think you have it all figured out at a certain age, like you're just dead to the world. Like there's nothing else to learn, right? So I was sitting there watching it and I was like, I hope James kind of like hears his own stuff. Sometimes when we give suggestions or advice to other people, it's really suggestions that we should be taking ourselves, because I think other people mirror us, you know? But he did give great suggestions. He really did. So then it goes in, and then they have to, and I liked this challenge. They had to create like a 3-minute ad, and they got to go into these Ulta bars. The one thing I thought was really, really interesting when we talk about these long series and stuff, you know, Shane Dawson did this huge series with Jeffree Star and talked a lot about it, like getting sponsored or not getting sponsored or whatever. Now, James did not disclose that there was a sponsor on this show, which means that if he's doing it out of his own pocket. I don't know. Like, the prize is $50,000. a collab video with James. I think he should do a collab video with all of them, each individually, you know? A collab video with James, and then like this whole setup of how to do like the makeup room and everything like that, which is very, very impressive. I think he said it was valued at like $10,000 or something like that, you know? So like, I mean, he is giving quite a bit away compared to a lot of reality shows, you know? I was real impressed with that. But there was no sponsor, and I was like, there was no product sponsors in the video or anything, and I was kind of expecting that. Like, I was expecting, and maybe there are, and I didn't look, guess I should look in the description box of the video, but if he does, he would have to disclose that right away, and I didn't see anything in the video, anything in the whole show that mentioned anything about a sponsorship. So I was kind of surprised by that, because I thought, if James can't get this show sponsored, like no ads, or and there really weren't that many ads on it either. There were like, I think like 4 ads, for a 45-minute show, so I was kind of surprised. Okay, let's see. Someone's who has what it takes if you, okay. But no, there's nothing in here about it being sponsored, so I was kind of surprised. I was like, could he not get a sponsorship for this? Did he try? Did he not want to? Did he want to do this all on his own? And if that's the case, I was impressed with that. So anyway, so then it goes in, they do these mini challenges. Now, I have to tell you what's interesting. As of 3+ years following beauty drama and not being somebody that sits down and does a makeup tutorial, the amount of effort and work it goes into to put these tutorial videos together, like they had 3 hours to do it. It was a 3-minute tutorial. I probably said that wrong. I was like really rather wowed. I mean, it was insight for me to really see the lengths that beauty influencers go to create a tutorial look. Like that's like really could be an entire day video. And I was like, you know, this is like they really, like they bumped it out in 3 hours. I was really impressed with these, you know, 5 that like some of them are YouTubers, some of them aren't. I was really impressed with how they did it, you know? And all of a sudden I was kind of sitting there and I was like, wow, there's a lot more to this than I ever thought. Like, I mean, I knew it was, you know, in depth to put these tutorial videos together, but the cutting and the pasting and all that kind of stuff, I mean, I just am one roll, you know what I mean? So anyway, I was real impressed with that. So then he comes out and he does this cute thing at the end where they judge the videos and they have him go sit in the rooms, their beauty rooms, and then they sit there and then he comes on video and tells them like who won and who was safe and all this kind of stuff. And then it gets down to the final 2. And he knocks on the one person. Well, if you haven't watched it, you need to go watch it, obviously, before you see my reaction to it. So I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. But I am right now, because you should have already watched the video if you're watching my reaction to it. So anyway, he goes and he knocks on this guy's door, and then it's like one girl left, right? And he goes in there. And he's real sweet to her, and he's like, I'm really sorry, but you know, you have all this kind of stuff. And he even says to her, because he had said earlier in the show, you need to have more confidence. And he's like, you need to like grow your confidence. So I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, this is literally 4 hours into this show. I mean, how is she supposed to get more confidence from the beginning to the end, right? Oh, no. That's the winner. That's the winner that he says it to. He says it to this other girl, and that he called her look very basic at the beginning. But then he says to her, and this was like, I literally, because I was kind of waiting for a moment throughout the whole show, where, you know, like, I mean, his personality is over the top. So that alone for watching a show was something. Choices. But like at the very end, I was kind of waiting for a moment in the show, like a cringe moment. Like there has to be one cringe moment through the whole show. By the way, Paris Hilton being on this show with her dog was absolute. It was hot. So hot. But anyway, I loved her little dog walking around on the table. But okay, so, and Norvina was fantastic in it too, and I thought they all gave great critiques. But at the very end, I was like, I cannot believe this entire show, 45 minutes, didn't have one cringe moment. And then at the very end, after he tells this girl, and you can tell she's devastated, like she's absolutely devastated, right? And he's like, but don't ever give up, you're gonna be really good. Okay, we're gonna sign off on this video together. And he puts his arm around her to like sign off the video. Like, I guess this is gonna be his Heidi Klum walk to the stage on Project Runway and Auf Wiedersehen somebody, you know? Because he puts his arm around her and he says, okay, let's sign off. And she's literally just like this. And I'm like, she's not in the mood to want to sign off to the world right now. Like, you're expecting a lot. And she was younger too. And I was like, this poor girl, like she's sitting on there and she's just lost this competition that she literally just came on. I mean, we all know she's the first to go, okay? What does Abby Lee Miller say? Second place is first loser. Live. But anyway, it felt so bad for her. He's just like, okay, see you next week. And she's like sitting there just like, anyway. But it was good. I was real impressed with it. If you guys watched it, I will be continuing to watch it. I liked it. I mean, if it was on like national television, I would watch it. So I was real impressed. I don't know. I'm kind of like mystified by the whole sponsor thing. Why he couldn't even get it sponsored by Morphe? I'm just saying. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, what you thought about all of that. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.